Shalom, shalom, Israel, first and foremost. I will give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity. This is Brother Kawa Cup coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, I want to get into, I want to flow through the Spirit, all right, because, oftentimes, the best preparedness is no preparedness. All right, let's actually get a precept that supports that. All right, two precepts actually. Bear with me while I get these. Because basically the thing about this is that when it comes to YAHAWASHI, right here, Matthew 10 verse 19, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. All right, so basically in here, in this context specifically, this is talking about when you are delivered onto like say for example, let's actually get another precept to back that up. Revelation chapter 2 verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right, so that's basically the thing where, we are going to, when we're going into certain tribulations, all right, we might be thinking like, okay, well, how am I going to speak to this judge? Or if it's a man judge, or if it's a woman judge, or if it's a so-called black judge, or a so-called white judge, or all this stuff like these are the different things that people like say, oh, I'm gonna plan for each and every single possibility in order to make sure that I'm taken care of, protected, and whatnot. But the thing about that, the problem with that is that you all that planning means nothing. Okay, you can never outplan, what the Lord puts into place. All right, and this is me speaking from experience. All right, because there have been times when me personally, I'm over here thinking like, oh man, I have to think about what I have to say when I'm faced with some adversity or whatnot. I have to try to be nice, do this, do that, whatever. But then, lo and behold, what happens is that something completely unexpected happens, and then now my whole plan is fucked up, and everything that I was thinking about, everything that I planned, it fell through. So now I have to just go, I have to improvise on the spot. All right. Slack it. So basically, this is the important thing that you need to remember, where like all this thinking, all this, I have to be 10 steps ahead, 15 steps ahead, 50 steps ahead, and whatnot, like all that, like that means nothing, because at the end of the day, it's not going to help you, it's not going to benefit you if the Lord just makes it so that something else happens, or you have to face something that you were not expecting. All right. So as a result of that, one thing that I do like to say, which I'm not saying this as in like, all the time you have to just wing stuff or always improvise stuff. No, absolutely not. Okay. There are certain instances where you can be wise, and you say, okay, you know what? Let me think about what I want to say, what I want to do in certain instances, but in like certain, faith-based situations, that's where you really have to just let the Lord take over, let the Lord take the wheel. But what's that one song? I forgot who sings it, but it's Jesus, take the wheel. All right, old song, I think, but that's something that's very, very prominent and very applicable. All right, where you really don't understand how, we might think that I can handle this, I can do this, I can do that, but in actuality, you can't handle certain things. All right, you can't deal with certain things. Like some things are just out of our control, and that's where faith comes into play, and we have to just let the Lord handle certain things for us, especially for stuff where we're not able to talk our way out of stuff, fight our way out of stuff. Like, say for example, this is based off of a dream that a brother had. One brother had a dream where where what happened was he was being chased by I'm trying to remember. He was being chased by the enemy, or I'll just say the enemy, because I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like military people or whatever. But he was being chased by them, and he thought to himself, if they catch him, they're going to kill him. All right, and this is similar to another dream that someone else had, a non-brother had, where he said what happened was they were talking about the MOTB and stuff like that. They were going to implement that. They implemented that, and then anyone that did not have the stuff, they would just kill them on sight, just shot them in the head. And he said he was running away from all that stuff. He saw all the stuff that was going on. He saw how mercilessly people were being slaughtered. All right, without hesitation. I think he even said kids as well. I don't remember, but that's the stuff that we have to look for, that we have to be prepared for, but not physically prepared, spiritually prepared. And how do you get spiritually prepared? By building up your faith. All right. The faith is the gift. Okay, because it's a very hard thing to think in your mind, to believe in your mind, and say, okay, you know what? I don't have food. Let's say I don't have food for tomorrow, but I'm gonna just keep on trucking. I'm gonna keep on doing whatever. The Lord will provide, and then lo and behold, the Lord says, "Oh hey," the Lord sends someone to say, "Hey, are you hungry? You want some food? Here, I'm willing to share my food with you and whatnot." And that's just one example out of many. All right, where the Lord can just provide you with anything that you need when you are at some sort of dilemma, crossroads, or whatever. All right. So yeah, all that preparedness. All right, it's not in carnal ways. It's in spiritual ways, where we prepare spiritually, where we practice having faith that if the Lord sends us in a particular direction and on a particular way, all right, then that's when we go that way, and it works. It works out for us, all right. But again, we can't be trusting on our own. We can't be trusting on our own power, on our own instincts, on our own capabilities, skills, physical prowess, whatever. All right, we can't be trusting in ourselves. We can trust in the Lord. All right? And oftentimes, we're not even supposed to be forcing stuff, like fighting anyone. We're not supposed to be doing any of that stuff. We're just supposed to be, okay, you know what? The Lord wants me to do this right now, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to focus on this. My eyes on the prize. I'm on the way to fulfill my obligation with YAHAWAH and Yahawashi. All right, that's basically it. That's all there is to it. All right, where we don't need to worry about these what's the word? The intricacies, the major intricacies of how we're gonna do certain things when we get to crossroad A to Z and whatnot. All right. So yeah, this is just a thing, and that's just a part of the bigger thing where we prepare through the Spirit, but we don't prepare carnally. Okay. Sometimes, okay. Again, I want to kind of make this known that preparing carnally is not a sin. It's not a sin to if you have money, buy a bunker. Okay, I don't think that's a good idea, but it's not a sin if you buy a bunker. It's not a sin if you get some canned goods and non-perishables for an extended period of time. All right, it's not a sin to do that, but sometimes you have to understand, like, okay, what? If this is what the Lord is guiding me to do, then yes, I'm going to do it. I can do it, and I'm able to do it. So, let's take this step. Let's take this procedure. But then, at the same time, especially if you are not capable of doing it, all right, then you say, okay, you know what? I'm a little afraid, but we don't need to worry about that. I don't need to worry about any of that, of that hardship, because the Lord's going to take care of me. The Lord's going to help me, guide me through these struggles and difficulties. All right. So yeah, and even then, I want to also go back to this. John 13:16, verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. All right, so that's another thing where the servant, all right, is not going to be greater than the Lord. The servant is not greater than the one that sent him. The person that was sent is not greater than the one that did the sending. Okay, so Yahawashi, he is our Lord, obviously. All right, so the stuff that he went through, we have to be willing to go through it, the same thing as well. Now, I want to point out, or disclaimer, that we might not all go through the exact same things that he went through, but some of us might have to go through certain things. All right, like for example, Yahawashi was falsely accused of many things when blaspheming the Holy Spirit, and that's why he was put to death by what's it called, Pilate, whatever his name is. All right, that all those false accusations, okay, saying that he was calling himself Yahawah when he was, well, that's again that's for those that can receive and can't receive. But basically, well, I'll just leave it at that. If you can receive it, if you can receive what he was saying, you received it. If you can't, then that's just it. All right. But basically, the thing about that is how with the false accusations. All right, he didn't do any wickedness. He was healing people. He revived people from the dead. He was teaching and whatnot, but yet he was still found with blame, okay, by the people. The people, they said, he crucify him, let his blood be on our head, which is a very dumb thing to say. All right, and as a result of that, they're gonna pay for that. All right, as Scripture says, let's get that. As a matter of fact, where was it? Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with the clouds. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. All right, so basically, the people that pierced him, people that are responsible for his death, all right, they have to answer it. answer for him. And when Yahawashi returns, then they're going to see, oh man, we fucked up. All right, we really made the wrong decision. All right, and then now they're going to have to pay for that, especially with Yahawashi, his anger towards those people that led to his death. All right. Now, what was I going to get? I forgot what I wanted to get. But yeah, basically, to reiterate, so I can attempt to remember, yeah, the things that Yahawashi went through, we are. Oh, okay, here, let me get this. According. Matthew chapter 25, verse 15, and unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. All right, so that's basically the main thing, the key thing where we, for us, Slakia, the tribulations that we go through, we are going through it according to what we are each capable of, physically, spiritually, mentally, whatever. All right, and the Lord. Let me get this as well. Slakia, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, and ye may be able to bear it. All right, so that's another thing where, we are, the Lord's not going to put, the Lord's going to give us tribulation according to what we're able to withstand. In addition to that, the Lord also gives us ways to escape said temptation / ways to, endure it better and whatnot. All right, because like say for example, I don't want to give out false information, but to the best of my ability and my understanding, I will say, like say for example, if you have if you're addicted to smoking, tobacco, whatever, cigarettes, all right, you might want to smoke, and then, and you're trying to quit. You're trying to quit, but the Lord gives you the alternative of maybe vaping. I don't know if vaping is okay, but there's a bunch of different alternatives and stuff that helps you get over that, rather than just saying, okay, I'm not going to buy any more cigarettes. I'm not going to do this. We're good. I'm good. All right. Like these are the stuff that these are the ways the Lord helps us out. Speak to those people who have these really hard addictions, these really hard problems that we really want to fight through. All right. Sometimes you might feel like, man, I really need this. I need this. Like, I can't live without it. But through the Spirit power of YAHAWAH and His, okay, the Lord's gonna help you get through, or He's gonna give you an alternative. All right. Now, one example, from my own experience, okay, it might not seem as major or like vital. I guess that's the better term to use, vital, to use this as an example. But I kind of felt like, for me, I always had like an addiction to bacon. Now, obviously, that is an over exaggeration, but addictions can take the form of many different things, and you could be addicted to your phone, video games, or watching some random dumb movie or something like that or whatnot. The key thing is finding alternatives or finding ways to kind of like beat that addiction. All right. So as I was saying, I kind of felt like I was addicted to bacon. So as a result, what I did when I came into this truth, I finally came into this truth, is I would replace the bacon with turkey bacon, or just eat different alternatives rather than eating pork. And that helped me to realize, okay, what? I don't need it. And the thing is that's actually what I heard from someone else. They said I stopped eating pork. This isn't a brother. This is just a random Jake who I had a conversation with before. He basically told me I stopped eating bacon because I feel like I don't need it, because I realized I don't need it. It's like, he didn't say I feel like, he said I realize that I don't need it. And that's when you realize that, okay, you know what, I don't need this, I want this. So rather than feeding into that want, that desire, just replace it with an alternative, and to attempt to get the same desired result. All right, so that you can, fight against said addiction. All right. So yeah, these are the things that we do. These are the things that helps us to fight against these weaknesses that try to take hold of us. Because at the end of the day, these are demons. These are demons that are getting a hold of us and trying to push us to go off. All right. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to get this example. Matthew 17:15. Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. So basically, someone who's constantly committing self-harm. All right, this is just one extreme example of someone who had a heavy demon on them and made them go jumping in the fire, go jumping in the water, and doing crazy stuff. Okay, just acting like they had no sense. They had literally lost their mind. All right, like that's the thing where you have these demons that are getting on us to do things that we wouldn't normally do. All right, so or even things that are not profitable to our health or profitable to the enrichment of our lives. All right. So yeah, these are examples. This is one example of that, where what we do as a result of it is, again, try to find alternatives. Like, okay, well, if it's not that serious, as in like you're hurting yourself in that way, but if it's these smaller ways where you actually have control over your mind, have control over your actions, all right, which don't be taking that and saying, oh, I don't have control over my actions, and using that as an excuse to do whatever you want, right? Absolutely not. But an example of that is, if you have these smaller addictions like cigarettes, okay, because I think people have withdrawals over certain drugs and stuff like that, which, by the way, terrible thing, by the way. Anyway, some might have withdrawals. Try to find some sort of alternative and slowly wean yourself off of it. All right, that's the thing. Many different brothers have come into this truth, smoking weed and stuff like that. They've had that life, and they've been able to stop. They've been able to get off of that. They've been able to be better. All right, better themselves. Okay, there are certain things that you can do. You can drink some wine and stuff like that. That's fine. All right, but like overindulging and stuff like that, that's what's going to destroy you. As a matter of fact, let's get that. Proverbs 15, is it 15, 16? Proverbs 25:16, hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. All right, so basically, like for example, honey is a sweet thing. Honey is nice to eat, but if you eat too much of a good thing, it can be bad for you. And you're gonna eat so you overindulge too much that it hurts you. All right, it destroys you. All right, that's why you have people with drinking problems, alcohol problems. They drink too much every day and whatnot. And that's where we have to have the self-control. We have to implement self-control in our lives, where it's not just about, okay, well, yeah, I want to do this, so I'm gonna just go do it. Like, no, you have to be like, okay, you know what? I want to go, I want to go play golf or whatever. I don't know. All right, but I need to do some stuff. I need to make a lesson. I need to go work. I need to go, clean up or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you want to insert on that. Whatever responsibility, chores, and stuff like that. You have to have that balance. All right. Let's get that as well. Proverbs 11 verse 1, a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. All right, that's the thing where, you have to balance out the good with the bad, okay? Not all the time you're just going to be indulging and doing good. Sometimes we're going to have to go through certain hardships, okay? We have to trust in the Lord, in the Lord to help us out, all right? Trust in the Lord to, get things done right for us and improve in our situation, all right? Like, these are the things to take note of, to remember, all right? To be grateful for, that the Lord puts a spirit on us to want to be better, to do better, and to want to be better, and want to do better, and to actually put the steps into doing better, all right? So yeah, like this is the important thing. These are the important parts of I want to be better, I want to do better. All right, so as a result of that, I'm gonna take the steps in, slowly finding alternatives to things rather than just, overindulging in that one thing. Okay, and that's also just in health, where you can't just only eat one thing for all throughout your life. You need some variety in your diet. All right. That's nutrition and stuff like that. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. Like, you need to. The thing about this is just how, in life, like we're gonna have to go through these things. And Slucky, like that's crazy how I was able to. I showed you, like, there was no preparation. I just flown through. I just let the Spirit guide me. All right. Like, this is a very important lesson where, I genuinely did not have anything planned. The first thing the Lord put in my mind, I was able to do it. Okay. So, but at the same time, Slucky, that's a beautiful thing. Slucky, that's a beautiful thing. At the same time, even though I didn't have a lesson planned, all right, the discipline that I put in, the time I put in to keep on studying, the Lord was able to recall each and all that information, all right, for me to be able to come out here again, all right. Because let me tell you, you might think that just knowing the scriptures are so easy, but it's really not as easy as it might seem. Okay, because I'm over here using my phone, searching up the phrases, but even then, that's hard. That's hard to do. A lot of the time, because you have to actually know generally what it says word for word when you're searching it up. It's not just a simple matter of, okay, well, I know that verse that talks about not eating pork. Well, no, what does it actually legitimately say? All right, where you have you set the foundation of what you understand and what you know, so that in the time of trouble, then the Lord's gonna allow you to be able to actually apply it. All right, like even then, agree with that adversary quickly. That's one of the things where that's a word of wisdom where you won't. The Lord is not gonna just let you do it automatically. You have to actually know about it, know what are the procedures. So then, when you are actually in trouble, then the Lord's gonna be like, okay, put the spirit on them to just agree with that adversary quickly, just or even give them spiritual power, whatever. All right, all these types of the things that the Lord can do and will do for us. All right, so that's a beautiful thing. Slakia, I really appreciate this example to show for you. I pray you got something out of it. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, above the ball, and shalom.